aspiring writer and you wanted to put a plot together to try to get Hollywood's attention, make a really cool movie with a twist, here's what you might write. You might write about a bitter, angry, vicious woman running for attorney general in, the state of New York. And during her campaign for attorney general, she promised the voters of New York, if you elect me as attorney general, the top cop, chief law enforcement official of the state, I'll get Trump. I'll get him. I don't know what I'm going to get him on, but we're going to get him on something. We don't know what. We'll figure it out. We're going to cast a wide net because Orange Man bad, New Yorkers hate Trump, even though he's a New Yorker, and we're going to get him. And then as you're writing the movie, as you're putting together the script, there'd be a twist. First of all, she'd get elected because the idiots of New York thought that was a rational reason to vote for an attorney general because, Orange Man bad. The same kind of people that would sit on a jury and convict Trump of a bunch of bogus, goofy, ridiculous charges because Orange Man bad. These are New Yorkers. New Yorkers, many of them, certainly in Manhattan, hate Donald Trump. So here's the twist. She loses every effort to stop him from being reelected. She doesn't think he's going to get reelected, so that's why she's so bold and obnoxious in her contempt for Trump. In fact, that's why she sat in the front row of his trials, sneering and preening for the cameras. That's why she took to social media to insult him and attack him. I mean, she's a good old-fashioned troll, this Letitia James, this character in the Hollywood movie. She's obnoxious. She's miserable. She's angry. She's unhinged. I mean, she should be neutral. She is, after all, the Attorney General. Oh, no. Not this one. Her whole life's work is to destroy Donald Trump, to bankrupt him, certainly, and to most assuredly keep him from being elected president of the United States. Well, she has failed. And then here's the twist. Here's the twist. What goes around, I guess, has come around in this movie. After building her career on the promise to just target Donald Trump, and she did, now she's been indicted for bank fraud. Now she has been charged after a jury in Blue, Virginia heard the evidence. Now she's been charged with the same stuff she accused Donald Trump of doing. The media reactions are hysterical. To hear people over on MSNBC melting down and claiming that Trump has weaponized the Justice Department by getting a grand jury to indict a woman whose sworn promise was to weaponize the Justice Department. That was her whole premise. You vote for me, I'm going to get him. In fact, hey, let's go back to 2018. Listen to NBC and the way they reported on Tish James and her campaign.
NBC News has exclusively learned that the newly elected incoming New York Attorney General plans to launch some sweeping investigations into President Trump, into his family. Letitia James tells NBC News, quote, "We will use every area of the law to investigate President Trump and his business transactions and that of his family as well." She plans to look into the following: Donald Trump's real estate holdings in New York, that June 2016 Trump Tower meeting with a Russian official, any government subsidies that Donald Trump received, whether he's in violation of the Emoluments Clause, the Trump Foundation.
They were so excited. Did you hear the enthusiasm in her voice? The exuberance on their faces? She's going to get Trump. Well, let's stay with NBC for just a moment. MSNBC to be exact. This is a great day to check out the nearly tearful announcement from MSNBC's Nicole Wallace chatting with Andrew Weissman yesterday.
New York Attorney General Letitia James has been indicted. Andrew Weissman, your reaction?
I think that I want to sort of address the people who might look at this and say this is sort of tit for tat, that you see that in the Democratic administration, you see them going after Republicans, and this is Republicans going after Democrats. This is where, one, even if two wrongs don't make a right, even if that were true, but this is where facts matter. In the Letitia James case that she brought in New York, there was a trial. Facts were adduced. We all could look at those facts, and Donald Trump had a chance, an opportunity to have due process and to hear all of that. Here, the process by which this has been undertaken, like the process that was undertaken with respect to James Comey, tells you that career people and even Trump-appointed people did not think that there was evidence. There were not facts that justified this. And I think a perfect symbol of the fact that this is different, that what we're seeing is different. It is not normal. It is not everyone does it, is to take a look at Abby Lowell. Abby Lowell is the defense lawyer for Letitia James. He was also the defense lawyer for Hunter Biden. In the Biden administration, the Department of Justice actually charged and convicted the sitting president's son. And Abby Lowell represented him and defended him and lost that trial.
Yeah.
And he is now defending Letitia James. And to me, when people say it's tit for tat, it's like, no, in prior administrations, and by the way, Republican and Democratic administrations under normal times, which I agree with Mark are gone, under normal times in those administrations, there is no politics that is supposed to be considered. I'm not saying it's never considered, and there aren't. There's aberrations.
No,
that's not how you're built.
Right. Andrew, let me bring Caroline.
Oh, why? That's too bad. So sad. Gosh, poor Nicole Wallace. She's about to break out into tears. I mean, the two of them, they both were about to break down. You could see it and hear it. Bonchi has great analysis of Letitia James' indictment yesterday over at redstate.com. Bonchi writes, I seriously worry about Nicole Wallace's mental health at this point. She was so sure that Trump would end up in prison that she staked her entire personality on it. Weissman, the guy you just heard from, he's even worse because he took a taxpayer paycheck for decades while using his office to target his political enemies. Repeatedly, these people told us that no one is above the law, while they insisted that every norm broken was necessary to save democracy. Well, that kind of scorched earth strategy has consequences, doesn't it? Bonchi says, look, I don't even care about the Democrat claim that this is payback or revenge and thus is deeply improper. Improper was feeding a bogus legal theory to a compliant left-wing judge to try to jail a presidential candidate for what amounted to a disagreement over a QuickBooks entry. Improper was bringing multiple federal indictments in a ridiculously dot-connecting episode whereby Trump was supposedly responsible for a riot he clearly had no prior knowledge of. Improper was pressing charges for retention of classified documents against the now president, while essentially claiming that Biden was too old and senile to stand trial for the exact same thing. So yeah, Bonchi says, call it whatever you like. This is what happens when a political party throws everything out the window to try to win an election without considering they might lose that election. I'm going to just quickly say this and then turn it over to you at 800-655-MIKE. I loathed Letitia James the way I loathe Nancy Pelosi. And here's why. I'll never forget or forgive the act of watching the then Speaker of the House tearing up the State of the Union speech in front of President Trump as soon as he delivered his speech. It was disgusting. It was reprehensible. It was shameless. It was tacky. It was gross. And it was one of the most shameful things I've ever seen a public figure do. A close second is a woman who would take the responsibility and the power and the authority of her job as New York's top law enforcement official and use it to try to destroy a Republican she just doesn't happen to agree with. Tish James is getting everything she deserves. And look, I understand that there is apparently a woke left judge that's going to hear the case. It's going to be a jury trial. The judge can only do so much. I love what Whale Psychiatrist posted on X. And then let's consider this great message on a social media post. Hey, dear hyperventilating Democrats, Trump 1.0 came into office like a golden retriever puppy trying to start over and play nice with you. You tried to kill him and imprison him for life over stuff that you made up. You created every bit of whatever comes to you. 1-800-655-MIKE. Welcome in. It's Friday. Look, like there's a lot of great phrases that are coming to mind. Like somebody just texted, when you come for the king, you better not mess. You better not miss. And also, the hunter becomes the hunted. 800-655-MIKE. Join us.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.